Yeah.
I don't know who's listening, but he's preaching. I think that's the best way to go. Moses preaching.
But tell me a little bit about him. Tell me a little bit about what happened with him when things got kind of tight. Playoffs, World Series.
Listen, I think everybody up here, and to be quite honest with you, have the same demeanor, whether it's game of spring training or the World Series. And I think that's why we've been able to play here for this long, especially in New York. We don't treat anything differently. Every game is important. We always ask, you see guys playing in the World Series and talk about how important it is. Well, it's not any more important than any other game you play. If you say it's more important, then you don't care about the other ones. But every time we took the field, we wanted to win. That's the only thing that was on our mind.
5 championships. You all kind of started off at the same time.
Well, I definitely didn't have the. I don't think that we're gonna have this kind of run. You know, I mean, we know that. I know that we were good. I know that. It's a fact. And I mean, I saw these guys play each other in the minor leagues thing. We knew that we were something special. I knew that we were something special, but I didn't know the capacity. You know, how far we can go. We know we have the hunger. We know that we were able to compete. As far as this, I didn't know. You know, but I knew that it was something special.
What was going on in your mind that day? What's it meant to be able to play almost your entire career as a Yankee?
I mean, it's special. There's no doubt. Just a tradition. Obviously, I left, for 3 years, but it was so special, to me, that I wanted to come back. And you can't replace New York. There's just no way to replace this. There's no way to replace the energy, the excitement, the intensity that the fans, bring to the stadium. You can't replace that anywhere else. And obviously, when you come up in the organization again, when you just around it, when they're bringing guys in. The old players when we first came up, whenever you see Yogi coming in and Whitey coming in, Joe DiMaggio, yeah, that's us, yeah, that's great, that's great. It's just special. There's no place like it, and let's go. Brandon, I think just because I feel like it needs to be said, because I know about these guys. When you were asking about situations or how the success comes about out there, and Derek started talking about what he did, but I think all of us too. Not one time did I ever think that any of us were scared of the moment, as far as in the postseason and those big games and stuff like that. And I think that a lot of that, sometimes a lot of failure comes from a lot of players because you almost get too overwhelmed by the moment. But I can tell you right now, when the game's on the line, Derek wants to be up to bat, and Mo wants to be closing that game out, and Georgie wants to be up to bat, and all three of these guys. If somebody asked me who would I want up, I would go to those two guys right there.
Yeah, but he was the best doing that. It start with him. Everything start with him. And Georgie had it going.
I think for all of us, though, we had so many opportunities so young in our career to be in those moments or to have, those big moments. I know for me, when I got to start, obviously I started playoff games in '95, but when I got to start in '96, Game 1 of the World Series, I'll never forget. For me, after that game, I reevaluate that game, and I'm like, that was when a moment for me, it kind of overtook me. Like I can't even remember, what I was doing out there. My focus mentally, that was where it was bad for me, and I don't really feel like that mentally I was.
Especially with big games. Any particular thing that what was your mindset? You've been able to get those big hits in Boston, and you always came up big, and you always seem to be in big situations.
Yeah, I think it's more as a catcher you prepare and you go through a game plan, and that helps you during the game. The preparation, you know you've done it before. So it was more about, you know, what have you done against a certain pitcher and what have you done against a certain hitter. I know how to get him out. I gotta throw this pitch. I can't miss location. So I gotta do that when, let's say, he's pitching and he doesn't have his curveball, he doesn't have his fastball inside. So I have to get him to get there. So I can't stay away from not him throwing a curveball. I just gotta get him to throw his curveball in particular spots so he doesn't get hurt. So I gotta get that curveball back, and it's all about feel. And he was a fastball inside guy against a right-hander, cutter inside, and then I would throw the cutter trying to slow people down. It was more about preparation. You know, certain pitchers facing Pedro Martinez, what he did against me before, that helped me understand what he was trying to do, especially in this series. And a lot had to do with it, also with the catcher you were facing.
I guess, if you were to guess, how many more years you're going to play? So everybody wants it.
One more.
Can we see, is it conceivable for you to play for
One more, Pete Rose.
No, I don't try to tell the future. I really don't. I focus on coming 1 year at a time. My focus now is to get ready for 2014.
Would you say your health is on track? Would you say you're on track?
Yeah, fine. I'll tell you.
Feeling good?
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good.
Go, right? You know you all want to know that. Well, we're worried there. I was listening to the radio on the way in. I was like, geez, so you kind of panic. It's panic radio. I want to make sure you're okay. In 2000, talk to me about that year, special year for you. You know, you had the Subway Series. First of all, was that a little bit over? I know you like to take every game, one game, but that Subway Series, a lot of pressure or not so much?
It was fun. I think, you know, it's if you think about it, everyone always talks about pressure, but if you're not thinking about yourself, you're thinking about how you can help the team win, you think about wins and losses, I think it takes a lot of the pressure off. Like, I don't ever go into a game saying I need to get 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits.
Every 3,000 hit game.
Yeah, true.
Section.
My focus is always on what I can do in a particular situation to try to help us win. And I think that removes a lot of pressure from me. I've always been uncomfortable when things have been about me. I'd rather talk about the team than talk about myself. 2000 was special. It was a special year for all of us. You know, it's to play the Mets in the World Series and all eyes on New York City. I've said it before jokingly that if we would have lost that series, I would have had to move out of Manhattan. Fortunately, we were able to win, and I've been able to live in Manhattan for a long, long time.
When was the first time you noticed that with Mariano? When was the first time you noticed that he's going to be trouble? He's going to be an unbelievable closer.
Well, closer, no. You know, when Mo came up, he was a starter. So, you know, we were in the minor leagues, and he was coming off of elbow surgery, and we played together. And the first year we played together was 1992. Yeah, I was 18-year-old shortstop, Mo was a 29-year-old starter. He's coming out of surgery, and he was on a pitch count. I won't tell you, I'd stand short and count his pitches. And I'd run to the mound and say, listen, man, if you throw 35 pitches, you only have 15 more. How can you make this last another 2 or 3 innings? So that's the first memories that I've had with Mo, was him as a starter. You knew he was special. You know, everyone has talent once you get to the professional level. I think what separates good players and great players is their mindset. And, you know, Mo's as strong as anyone went to.
As a professional, did you play for him?
I felt good to play for him. Yeah, no doubt. He want to play me Houston this year. I said, come on, I want to play now. You know? So he would have played me 15 years ago.
Did you think about playing in Houston?
No, I didn't think about it at all. I told him no. He wanted to play me. I said no. Yeah, I was upset.
He'd be on the mound, and you know, he'd go out there and shag the outfield BP. And every time a ball would drop, he'd come to me between innings. He's like, how come you didn't catch that? I want to catch that. I want to catch that. I didn't catch it. What is he doing up there? So in his mind, he thinks he can play. So
Talking about Bernie.
We're talking about Bernie. We're here on the 4-5. Didn't make it this great. 4-5. Bernie.
It was two Bernies. I take the Bernie that always show up to play. You know, the one, because sometimes Bernie was, the second Bernie was sleepy all the time. You know, they don't know where it was. You know, so, but Bernie was special. I mean, I saw Bernie when Bernie was playing at his level and his mind into the game. It was no one better than Bernie. I mean, it was no one better than Bernie. Getting to the balls, throwing, and he did not good on the ball, but he could throw someone and do something special. I mean, I'm telling you, the man was special when he was on his game. But sometimes, man, Bernie wasn't just near this thing. Those are the days, the stuff. You know, Bernie, are you there?
Bernie, are you there?
Oh, man.
sleep up until 15 minutes, 10 minutes before game time. I'm not making this up. And he'd run out, he'd get out, he'd have his shower shoes on and his shorts. He was knocked out, going, didn't take BP. He'd get dressed real quick, he'd run out on the field every time, and he'd look in the stands like he had no idea where he was. You look at old video, watch when Bernie comes out, he's just looking around. Yeah, he's looking all up like he has no idea. Yeah.
Zimmer. Another very important part of the piece. We haven't talked much about Don. What was he like? What was Zimmer like? And how much of an addition was he in the dugout? What kind of addition was he in?
Well, these guys can talk better than him because he was in the bullpen, so I didn't see him with me in the bullpen.
Zimmer.
Same with, we always had good stories when it was rained out. When there was a rain delay, you had to sit around Zimmer because he would tell you stories about 1950s and Jackie Robinson and getting hit in the head all the time. He always got hit in the head. It's true. I mean, he's got magnets or something up there because he will always get hit in the head. But Zim is a great. He was. Nothing would get by, and he would be in Joe Torre's ear about, especially when we interleague, like double switches and super mind. I mean, brilliant on moves and you know, bringing a guy in. You know, he was really special. We don't talk much about him, but he helped us a lot.
Zim could explode like no one else.
Yes. Red. He would get really red.
Once a game, he would go off. Yeah. It was enjoyable to watch. That's for sure. It was entertaining.
We were in Minnesota. And the guy told him, I think it was the umpire. He says, "Hey, Zimmer, you in trunks or something?" That's right now. Oh man, I mean, Zimmer was, to be around Zimmer was just, you know, it's like a encyclopedia, you know, like the Bible. It just has so much knowledge about baseball. And not only him, but you know, we have Mel, you know, Willie, Jose Calderon. We are those guys, but
Willie, by the way, said he had a pretty profound effect on your career. Willie Randolph.
Yeah, he's been, well, when things are going good, he has a good effect on my career.
Trying to send somebody home to her.
You know, I mean, really, if you think about it, I helped Willie keep his job. Let me explain. Because Willow was the third base coach. So I always considered myself a pretty good base runner. So but I had to make up for my guy sitting here to the right. So, I don't know, Willie, you've been fired a long time ago. Try to help me out.
It was Georgie, man.
No, but in all honesty, I mean, we are very fortunate in our organization to have all these great players. I can't really see it, that's why I can't even see your face, Willie, but I see Goose over there, and Nettles I saw earlier, and Roy White. I don't know who else is here.
Reggie.
I can't see Reggie. But we're fortunate because, we get spoiled. We have access to these players pretty much on a daily basis. They're in and out of the stadium. We came up, all of our coaching staff were ex-Major League players. If you need help, you know who to go to. Now they're all a phone call away, and not too many organizations can say that. So we laugh and we joke, but we've been very fortunate, and we wouldn't be here if we didn't have the help of all these guys.
Memories, do you miss it?
I do. I mean, we're spoiled. The amenities, the facility, the new Yankee Stadium, I mean, it's second to none, but we played so long in the old stadium. The fans were right on top of you. It was very intimidating. We really had home field advantage there. Now the new stadium spread out a little bit more, which makes it more comfortable for the fans and the players as well. So I like both of them, but it's your first, so it's like a first girlfriend. You know what I mean? You never forget it.
Did you ever think, I gotta change direction on that, I don't want to go there, but you don't want to know that either. Did you ever think that Mariano was going to go out this way? Did it surprise you? Because he's this quiet, skinny little kid from Panama. All of a sudden he's on a road show, he's like a rock and roll star. Getting gifts, ceremonies, that surprised you, and how happy were you?
No, I'm not surprised because, for years he was telling me and Jorge and Andy, I just don't get enough attention. When I decide to hang him up, I want to go on this whole tour and get all the necessary attention. But no, I mean, if you think about it, most jobs, it's a tough enough job. Goose, as well. Closer's role, the only time the media talks to you is when you blow a save. And for both of these guys, Goose and Mo, they didn't talk to him very much because they didn't blow a lot of saves. And I thought it was great because he got the opportunity to go around and get the attention that's well deserved. And he knows how the organization feels about him, how us as teammates feel about him. And he had an opportunity to see how baseball fans in general